What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tones Overthinks It, the show where I think too much to make up for the people who don't think at all. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I found him. Patient Zero. The Genesis. The OG. The first original Frauditor. And here he is.
My God. You have finally lost it, haven't you?
Okay, hear me out. I promise it'll all make sense. First, a little background. For those of you who don't recognize him, this is Foghorn Leghorn. He was a cartoon character introduced in 1946 to the original Looney Tunes series, and one of the characters originally voiced by Mel Blanc himself. He is a freakishly large rooster, known for his iconic southern drawl, as well as his bombastic and somewhat unrefined personality and a penchant for mischief. He also may or may not be inspired by the character of Senator Beauregard Cleghorn from the 1945 Fred Allen radio show, and he's probably the only reason anyone in my generation even knows about the song Camptown Races. Unless you saw Blazing Saddles, of course.
Everybody got that?
So getting back on point, why am I comparing a 77-year-old cartoon character to frauditors? Well, let's go over the most common traits of frauditors. First, their sole purpose. They target individuals who are in a position of authority or responsibility, and provoke a conflict. Then they position themselves in such a way where they are just out of reach of consequences because they know their target's authority and responsibility will hold them back from responding in a manner that any normal human being would. Now, let's take a look at a typical day for Leghorn.
Oh, do da day.
A mere coincidence, perhaps, but let's consider another trait, like, say, being incredibly brash and abusive.
Well, don't stand there with your beak open. Say something. Explain yourself. Your tongue's flapping, but no noise is coming out of your big mouth.
A profound sense of entitlement and lack of self-awareness in which they demand the very people that they abuse and belittle to still perform a service for them.
Dog, I say, hey, dog, what am I doing on the outside of the fence? I belong on the inside. I demand you put me back where I belong.
Then, of course, there's the inability to listen, never shut up, and make everything all about them.
What kept you, son? I can't hold my breath forever. I'm not a fish. I gotta breathe air. My lungs crave air. You gotta think of things like that, boy.
Being completely oblivious as to why they're facing consequences for their own actions and playing the victim.
Now, who's responsible for this unwarranted attack on my person? Well, I say, what happened to you, dog? You look like 2 miles of bad road. What you doing there, dog?
They think they know better than everyone else and claim to be educating people.
You missed it. Went right past you. You gotta keep on your toes. But toes, that is. But the fast ones get right by you. Keep your ears open. But yappity, yappity, yap. I can't get a word in edgeways. Talk. But
And of course, last but not least, if you want to go the easy route, a colossal jerk with a camera. Now, the other thing to consider about Leghorn that's also relevant is that at the time many of us were watching these cartoons as children, he was the protagonist. He was the hero of the story. Yeah, sure, the story is about an incredibly rambunctious and arrogant, over-the-top prankster, but as kids we laughed at that. We found it entertaining and appealing every time he pulled a fast one on the dog or anyone else. But then, as we grew up and became more mature, we took another look at his behavior and realized he was just a massive And the problem is, some people haven't grown up. They haven't matured. So they look at this behavior, and they still think it's funny or appealing. They still see him as the hero of the story. This is how and why frauditors have managed to gain massive audiences, and their comment sections are filled with people just unquestionably supporting them, despite the fact that one look at their behavior by any normal person, and you would be absolutely disgusted by what you're seeing. So why do frauditors compare so well to a cartoon character? Because that's what they are. They're cartoon characters. A walking joke made in bad taste, a prank gone wrong that was never funny to begin with. And the sad truth is, there's always going to be an audience for that sort of thing. And this big, feathered, egotistical Southern stereotype is proof that that's always been the case. Because even today, people still look back and think he was the good guy, despite the fact that time and again, Much like with Frauditors, all of his antics, all of his arrogance, all of his pranks, they only led to one conclusion.
And I know what I'm talking about.
But then again, maybe I'm just overthinking it. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like what you see here and you want to see us do even more in the future, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Please remember to hit that like button and feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. I always like to read them. Of course, a big shout out and thank you to all my amazing channel members. Your support is always appreciated. And if you'd like to show your support, consider becoming a member yourself or head on over to www.tonesoverthings.com and get yourself some exclusive quality channel merch. Links in the description. Till next time, everybody.